There's been cutthroat competition between some top sides in the NBA playoffs and off the field as well. As a result, there was a raging debate about who should be crowned the MVP for the regular season. The accolade went to Nikola Jokic, but let's take a look at what divided opinions on this decision. But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2022 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple. First up, the most heated MVP debate. Nikola Jokic won the MVP after a three-way battle for supremacy between Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, and himself. There was a strong case for all three of them to win, and it's somehow so insane that the likes of Luka Doncic, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, and Ja Morant missed out altogether. Jokic won the award with 65% of first-place votes, and that's the lowest percentage in the last 15 years. 65% is still a lot of votes, with very little to separate the top three performers. Yet fans have been outraged with the results because they feel Jokic shouldn't have won that dominantly. After all, it's not like Embiid had a poor season. He too would have been a worthy winner, and Giannis wasn't in the debate to make up the numbers. He's been a victim of his own success. Let's take a look closer at why the race was so close. Next, making a case for Giannis Antetokounmpo. If it had been anyone other than Giannis putting in the performance that Giannis put in throughout the regular season, he'd have more than a worthy claim of finishing at least as runner-up, if not outright winner. Such is the level that the Greek freak has set for himself, and thus it's impossible to imagine him having a bad game. For context, his worst game in the playoff series exit to the Celtics came in Game 7, and he ended with 25 points, 20 rebounds, and 9 assists. That's insane numbers. And for a player who was putting in 40 points for fun and dominated the game from the get-go, analysts and fans tend to be cruel. After all, you can't blame them. They know he can put in even better performances. The biggest compliment you can pay Giannis is that the Bucks series loss to the Celtics is being blamed on him for not turning up. Somehow, as cruel as it may sound, it's true because he scored or assisted all of the first 24 points that the Bucks scored, and the minute he struggled, the Milwaukee side was out of the playoffs. These numbers are not normal, and he was coming up with them every 3 days in the regular season, despite a slow start to the season. Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday are fantastic players, but Giannis was the reason the Bucks finished third, level on wins in the Eastern Conference with the Boston Celtics, a much superior side. And now, making a case for Joel Embiid. If the Giannis snub makes little sense, spare a thought for Embiid. He's finished runner-up for the second time in a row, and there's not much more he can do to force a case for his MVP push. Take Embiid out of this Sixers side, and you'll see just how much they rely on him. Last year, he pulled together the best season of his career, and it was a sight to behold. A big man dominating the league like that, you love to see it. And then, he was snubbed for the MVP award. Many thought he won't be able to hit the same heights again, and they were right, because instead, Embiid smashed those levels and put in another great season, an even better one compared to the season before. Somehow, he's been rejected again, and in his own words, "I wonder what else I have to do to win it." We have the same question. It's not like there's much room for improvement because he's given it his all. He's more powerful than Jokic. For instance, he moves better in transition and moves to the basket a lot better than Jokic too. Embiid's got the ability to do things that nobody else can do in the league, and he's a monster defensively. A columnist described him perfectly when he wrote that he's a combination of Shaq, Olajuwon, and Nowitzki. Spot on. Missing out on the MVP can be draining, but the way Embiid responded to the previous snub, we have to hope he's got enough in the tank to come up with another all-timer season. It's hard to imagine him missing out on the MVP for a third time in a row if he keeps this level up. Up next, the case for Nikola Jokic. Well, we don't have to make a case for Nikola Jokic because there's one already, and he's won it too. Simply put, the Serb's a fantastic player, and he's outrageously good at everything he does on the court. It's like watching Larry Bird, but add about 50 pounds and a couple of inches. Jokic averaged 1.47 steals per game throughout the regular season and 0.85 blocks as well. Ranked 6th in the league in points, 2nd in rebounds, 8th in assists, and 12th in steals. That's phenomenal. And the consistency? Mamma mia! He became only the second European player to win the MVP award more than once, joining Giannis, and it was more than deserved. The level of performance from Jokic were so crazy at times, and statistics hardly tell the full story, but even they're enough to shed a light on his historic season. He led the league with 19 triple-doubles and became the first player to average 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists over a regular season. That came after he broke another record by putting together 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in a single season, a feat that no one else has ever managed. Without the Joker, the Denver Nuggets wouldn't even finish for the playoffs play-ins. In fact, statistically speaking, the Nuggets average a winning percentage of .286 without Jokic. Only the Rockets had less in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, with Jokic, they finished 6th and averaged .612, and had he played all the games for his franchise, they would have pushed the Mavericks for the 4th spot. All in all, we're blessed with some fantastic players, but the Joker deserved his back-to-back wins, even if the latest one shouldn't have come with that big of a margin. Now, in other related news, enough about the regular season MVP. Let's check out what else is going on in the NBA realm. NBA introduces Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The NBA added 2 awards to the list of postseason accolades by giving Conference Finals MVP to each conference. This is a fantastic addition, as it rewards players for their performance in the postseason leading up to the NBA Finals. These trophies are named after the legendary duo of Magic Johnson for the Western Conference and Larry Bird for the Eastern Conference. The trophies feature a raised sterling silver ball, which is quite similar to the conference champion trophies. It's a great way of honoring the 2 greats who changed the game in the 1980s and raised the general level of basketball, inspiring thousands of players that came after them. Apart from adding 2 more awards, the existing trophies also received makeovers, making the helm of the trophies bigger to accommodate 25 more names until the 100th anniversary of the NBA in 25 years' time. Likely candidates for the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Here are 3 leading candidates for winning the brand new award of Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtics. The Celtics edged past the Bucks, and it was down to some fantastic displays by Jaylen Brown. His postseason stats read 22.2 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game, and 3.8 assists per game. Brown's one of the multiple outlets on the Celtics side and could be a likely candidate for the ECF MVP. Jimmy Butler, Miami Heat. Butler's probably the favorite to win the ECF MVP, and that's because his Miami side's the favorite to win the series. He's already averaging 28.7 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, and 5.4 assists per game, and will be a handful for the Celtics. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics. Tatum was magnificent throughout the postseason. He put up a game-high 46-point performance against the Bucks in Game 6, which was crucial in getting the Celtics to the conference finals. His stats in the postseason are quite similar to Butler, and if the Celtics progress to the NBA Finals, he could take home the trophy. Likely candidates for the Western Conference Finals MVP. The likely candidates for the Western Conference Finals MVP are as follows. Steph Curry. Steph's return from injury has been at the perfect time as the Warriors look to contain the threat from Doncic and his Mavericks side. A demon from the deep, he's averaging 26.9 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game, and 5.6 assists per game in the postseason. Klay Thompson. Klay's got a better chance of making the WCF MVP if the Warriors can get past the Mavericks. He's been phenomenal in the postseason, even though his numbers are slightly behind teammate Steph. He's an incredible player and holds the key for the Warriors to progress. Luka Doncic. Doncic has been the best player in the postseason comfortably. The Mavericks rely on him to make the finals, and no one can match his stats of 31.5 points per game, 10.1 rebounds per game, and 6.6 assists per game. His demolition of the Suns in Game 7 was one of the best performances in the postseason, and we can definitely expect more to come against the Warriors. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Nikola Jokic was a deserved winner of the regular season MVP? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.